Well, lads, we got some sad news. Today is the final day NASCAR raced at Auto Club Speedway in its current configuration. Now, for those who don't know, this track is what you're seeing me race in iRacing right now on the screen. It's one of the best ovals there is in NASCAR right now. Well, that there was. It was one of the oldest paved ovals there. It's the oldest surface they have, and well, that is one of the reasons that it is their last time racing on this track because it is extremely difficult to get the track to dry and to get rid of water logged into the track, underneath the track. You can see them during the race, water comes up underneath the track and just it ruins it, and it's awful. And it's a lot of money to repave a racetrack, and the thing with repaving racetracks is it doesn't always go well. The racing ends up being very shitty after it's repaved. The tires don't wear at all, and it just there's no racing lines. The track just doesn't wear, and there's no lines to run. And that's what makes Auto Club so unique is with its old surface, it has so many different grooves, so many lines. There's seams from them filling in the gaps and holes that come up in the track over the years of racing on it. And it's extremely old asphalt on this track. And yeah, it's sad to see it go. What they're doing is they're going to reconfigure the track into a short track. So it's going from a big 2 mile oval to a half mile, almost over a half mile. I think it's like zero point 0.6 of a mile or whatever in the documents. But yeah, it's going to be a banked Martinsville basically. So it's going to be long straightaways, short track, banked corners. And that's going to create for some interesting racing, I think, if it does go through. Um, from what I've heard is that they have sold the land, so it's a done deal with the land being sold. And then I've also heard things with they're going through with the plan to reconfigure, or they might just move the date to a different track. They're not sure yet, but it will be interesting. I hope they go through with it. I hope they do make the change. Since the land's already sold, there's no such thing as saving this track. It's going to be demolished, and it's unfortunate. There's not really they really didn't have any other option because, like I said, repaving the track is just way too expensive now, and like the racing will be bad. Like you go look at Kentucky, go look at any repaved NASCAR track. The racing just ends up being awful for a few years until that track gets some texture and wear in it, and that all affects how the car handles and how the drivers handle the track and how the lines change and everything. It's all very fascinating with how that works, but and that's what made Fontana great. And it was one of the last real like racing tracks in NASCAR. Now we got all these repaved ones that really don't put on that great of show, and a lot of them are coming into their groove now, like Homestead in Las Vegas, and there's a few others, but I'm not going to get into that now. But it's just it's sad to see it go. Um, the racing was great this weekend. The Xfinity race was awesome. The Cup race was awesome. I don't know what the fuck Logano did on that restart to wreck the entire field. Playing, restart games with a car that can't really handle hits is not very smart. But Logano will be Logano. But at least Harvick didn't get involved in it. Harvick was able to finish fifth, and I thought it was a good race. I think he's off to a good start. I think it'll be a good season, and it's nice to see him finish top five at the last race at that racetrack, which is basically his home track. So that was cool to see. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the next few years will be for Auto Club. They're going to be taking it off the schedule after this season, and then I think it's going to be under construction for 2 years, and then we'll hopefully see it back. But who knows what will happen in that time? I hope everything works out because I would like to see them back at that area. And apparently, hopefully, they'll keep the front stretch. I think at least part of the front stretch for the short track. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's just sad we don't have many 2 mile tracks left now. We only have Michigan, I think, and that's it. The only other option I was thinking for Fontana it was they could add another 15 degrees of banking during the repave and make it a super speedway. But I don't think the teams would enjoy that very much, knowing how we already have Atlanta basically a super speedway now, and it's just that's a lot of money to throw away. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Just yeah, sad times. Things be changing. Things be changing, but change is good, change is needed. Out with the old, in with the new. I'm gonna miss Fontana, but at least we got Michigan, and Kevin Harvick is pretty good there, and I think we're gonna see him win again there. Okay, great. Goodbye. Subscribe. How do I end this?